Good afternoon, evening, morning to all. Happy Valentine's Day. And this week's Torah portion is Terumah. And I was curious about Terumah, so I looked it up in here. A very, very, very cool book, which is a concordance. So all the words from the entire Old Testament have been cataloged and organized in an extraordinary way. And here they are. So Terumah, the top two out of half a page of description and definition and options, meaning contribution or offering. So this portion of Torah is portion, contribution, or offering. And as it sometimes is with me, I feel like, well, we could just, stop there with the name of the portion to talk about contribution, what contribution is, and offerings. That offerings are natural, that they are all over the Old Testament and all over our lives. It's not about past, present, or future. It's not about culture or quality or quantity of religiosity in our lives. It's human to make offerings, to receive offerings. And that's on a relative plane. So let's see if we can get it. I'm like putting myself forward to say, okay, see if we can get into it at all. And I do feel in myself that is really almost enough. As I started last week, I'm going to continue unless someone says otherwise or makes a different recommendation, which we can talk about, to go through the Parsha together. So I haven't I've glanced at it, but so here we go. So it starts with a very, very, very beautiful line. Vayikhu li Terumah me'et kol ish asher yidvenu libo tikhu et Terumati. So Hashem, or the divine, or truth, or God, or fill in the blank with what works for you. Maybe it's a non-name. Maybe it's a knowing. Maybe it's that which causes snow to fall or the rainbow to bow. Take for me this Terumah, this contribution or offering from every person, asher yidvenu, that there's a moving, there's a motivation in her or his heart. And from their heart, his or her heart, from there, take my offering. And this offering, Terumati, this last line of the second verse, if it's interesting and exciting to you. So chapter 25, verse 2 of Exodus, or Shemot, that there's a special grammatical word that we don't have in English right before this trumati, this my offering or my contribution. With it's the divine speaking. So this particular grammar word, in Hebrew it's et, says that this is a specific noun. It's specific. It's not just any sky, it's these specific skies, or it's not just any offering, it's this specific offering. It provides some specificity to a noun. And so that says to me, like, oh, like a particular offering or contribution. And that this contribution or offering doesn't have to be to God directly. Now, that could be seen as blasphemous, but from the perspective that truth or God or awakenness or life is in all things, then if the offering is going to oneself, or feeding your cattle really well, or buying really good food for yourself, or any kind of contribution or offering, maybe not even to a living being, maybe it's taking the stain out of that chair that's been bothering you, as I see this chair behind the computer. So opening up the idea and definition of contribution and offering that is directly for God or for something, whatever it is that's meaningful to you. Because if it's a word for a deity or a word for God that doesn't resonate with you, then like, who cares? To me, who cares? That is not the point. Not the point at all. It has to be something aligned with you, make sense to you, matter to you. Someone else's idea that doesn't resonate with you doesn't bring us closer to truth or God or life, I think. And so it goes into what is this offering going to be? And there are specifics here for possibilities of what that could be. And when we get to verse 8, we get to a line that has become a kind of a chanted prayer song, which is, and they will continue to make for me a holy place, a sanctuary, and I will dwell in them. So many amazing things to unpack here. And one way you can hear it is, Ve'asu li mikdash ve'shachanti betocham Ve'asu li mikdash ve'shachanti betocham. Hey, 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 hey. Because future tense in biblical Hebrew, it's not the same as modern Hebrew future tense, and certainly not English future tense. That will can also have a becoming on it. So, and they are making for me a mikdash, a holy place, and I will dwell in them. So a holy place is singular and in them is plural. So many people have gotten all up on this. Like, what does that mean? In them. So what does it mean in them? Well, consider it. One possibility is that certainly not that God dwells in one place. Certainly not. Unless we're saying that the one place is everything and everywhere in one place. And this really takes the pressure off. Like, oh, I could live in North Carolina, or I could live in Oregon, or I could, pardon me, I'm US based, or I could live in New Zealand. Put some options in there. And it also makes it that one place is not more holy, so much the holiest or more than another. In the fact of God being over here and not over here. Doesn't make any sense. Well, then we have a lot of instructions, which are pretty cool and unexpected material. Like, wait, that's in there? And there's please make a cover, and there's wood, and there's this, and there's diamonds, and there's gold, and there's so something that surprised me the first time I looked at this was all about the Kruvim, which has been transliterated into English as the cherubim. There's no ch sound in Hebrew, so it's inaccurate, but the cherubs or cherubim have come into music and hymns for a very long time. And these Kruvim, the root of the word, means close. So it's like these closies, closies. And they are usually also imagined as angels, and we do get information about their shape and size to be created onto the ark situation, all those situation. And these two are asked to be made out of gold, that they have wings spread upward. So they have wings. So maybe they're angels, but maybe they're winged beings that are not angels. There isn't specifically in this text that says that they're angels. They're Kruvim. I have a very beautiful feeling about them. And also that in the imagination of most of Judaism, there's like such a sometimes like a rough spirit about beings with bodies or deities and so forth, since monotheism. This is letting us remember or inviting another component, and certainly not to discount monotheism. And there's a menorah, and there are covers, and there are incredible colors, and there's wool, and there are different materials, and there are these walls, and then there's a partition, and then there's an altar, and the creation of a courtyard. And you can find all those details in the Parsha. So to close, I can imagine that the holy place is a thing, like a temple or a moving temple or like that. And I can also imagine, as many others have, that it's one's body, physical body, as that temple. Vasuli Mikdash, that holy place, making for whatever that maybe their godly, their qualities, and the body harmonizing with and towards them, like love, harmony, peace, joy, happiness, compassion, mercy. And whichever other ones that would be touching you today, tomorrow. And another could be a state of mind, a state of being, which certainly includes the physical body, but a kind mind perhaps could be one understanding, a kind heart. The whole Parsha started with heart, in their heart, in one's heart. A kind heart as a mikdash. So I hope this brought benefit to you in some way. And I'll close with a small closing Torah prayer. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bachar banu im kol ha'amim v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah. Shavua tov.